Hi everyone, it's Joan from the Wreath Maker. I just wanted to show you that I'm making one more summer wreath. I just can't seem to let go of making summer wreaths yet and transitioning into fall. So I'm going to make a cute little farmer's market fresh watermelon sign deco mesh wreath, and here is my sign. Of course, I've got a tinsel tie, 18 twist ties on here, wreath frame. I'm going to be using a 2.5-inch watermelon wired ribbon. I have a 1.5-inch wired ribbon. Move this over a little bit. And I'm going to be using two more in my bows. Two more 1.5, a black and white plaid or a gingham check, I guess, and then this green and red and white little plaid, bringing that into the bow. And I have a really nice Deco poly mesh. I'm going to be using just one roll today. Okay, so let's go on to the next step. I usually cut my ribbons at 14 inches, but since I'm using just two ribbons, actually this is also 10 yards. I don't know why it's rolled like that. But anyway, I usually cut them at 14 inches, but my ribbon tails are going to be at 13 inches. And I'm going to be using this throughout the whole wreath. So I need 18 pieces of each color at 13 inches. So let's start there. Just say 13 inches, right? So that's what I'm going to work with right away. I usually like to cut it at 14 inches, but I'm trying to save on some ribbon. So I'm going to cut that down to 13, okay? If you're wondering. If you like cutting your ribbon tails at 14 inches, go right ahead. So why don't you finish up cutting all your ribbon tails at 13 inches, and then we'll go on to the next step. Our next step after cutting our ribbons is we're going to dovetail all our ribbon tails, and I'm just going to fold that. I'm going to put 3 together. You can put as many as you like together. And I'm going to fold it in half lengthwise. Fold it in half lengthwise. I'm going to start in at the fold, or cutting at the fold, out to the wired edge at an angle. And that's what it'll look like. Again, I just take 3 pieces. Depends on how thick your ribbon is, how many you can put together. But you'll get an idea of what you like to do. Hope this fuzziness doesn't fall apart. All right, so go ahead and cut all your ribbon tails, dovetail them, and we'll go on to the next step. Hi everyone, it's Joan from the Wreath Creator. If you're wondering why everything looks a little different around my studio, it's because my studio is being renovated, and it's going to take a good few weeks, maybe a month, and I'm back at home working in one of my rooms. I had to kind of move everything around. So let's get back to our watermelon market, farmer's market wreath, and we're going to be cutting our deco mesh today. This mesh is a Deco poly mesh. It's 10 inches. And we're going to be cutting, let's see, 18 pieces at 20 inches each. So let's start doing that. We'll get going on that. And I'm working with a 15-inch that works out to about a 24-inch wreath work frame. So hopefully you have a work frame ready to go so we can get some work done. Let me just put this down a little bit. You can see what I'm doing. And I have 18 twist ties on that wreath frame. I'm not sure what you might be using. If you're not using the same thing that I'm using, then count your twist ties and cut as many pieces as you need at 20 inches each. All right, so you can follow along. You can, if you don't have time right now, you can catch up with me. And let's just finish up one more summer wreath before we go on to the fall. I just love the summer weather. I live in New England, so there's not too much, you know, that summertime goes by awfully fast. I'm not sure where you live. You can let me know in the chat where you live and what the summer's like where you are. And we'll be moving on to fall. So get all your pieces of Deco mesh done, and we'll start on the next step. Some of the things, but I'm not sure because, you know, when you pull things out of your wreath supply stash, they go back quite a while sometimes. So this Deco Poly Mesh is item number RE1358FT. My wreath frame is XX748709. My sign is item MD0343. My watermelon, 2.5-inch watermelon ribbon is RG0121909. And this ribbon is RG01598M as in Mary, L as in Lily. All right, so let's move on to adding our Deco mesh. Just going to open these up. Like I said, I'm working with a 15-inch wreath frame, but this does work out to about a 24-inch when you open up these twist ties and add your Deco mesh. It's going to come out to like a 24-inch wreath. Okay? And I'm going to be making I'm using the woodland ruffle, and it's going to be a little bit small ruffles, but I want to, this mesh is very, it has a really open weave, so I want to make sure that that's not going to come apart. So that's why I am going to roll that in. All right. So let's start by rolling that in once. And we're going to go right up the middle. Just gather it up the middle. And when you're coming to the top, just roll it down once. And you're going to pinch it. You want those rolls at the top. You don't want it facing down. You want those little rolled ends facing up, or the curls facing up. And we're going to put that, I want you to put that really down on that first tie. Put that down there and twist it as tight as you can. And why I want you twisting it as tight as you can is because you don't want it to flip-flop. You want it to stay in place. All right, so we're going to roll up maybe once or twice if you want to hide that a little bit more, maybe 1.5 times, and just walk up the middle. and roll this down. Pinch it together. And it makes a cute bow tie. Gonna look for the next twist tie. And we're gonna put that down in that twist tie. Twist it twice. And we're gonna be going around the bottom ring first. And then we'll be doing the top ring, sorry. Trying to do too many things here at one time. I'm not a good multitasker. So let me know what you ended up gathering for your wreath supplies. Are you working on one more summer wreath before we transition to fall? Or are you actually working on some fall wreaths? Halloween, something for September. Maybe you're working on a fall wreath that you can use right through September, October, and November, right into Thanksgiving. Or do you like to switch out for Halloween? Would you rather put up something for Halloween? Let me know in the chat. It's always fun to kind of find out what everybody's doing. I like to make different ones. I like to change it out. I have trouble in the springtime though with the wreaths on my front door. I end up having the birds coming and making a nest in there. Does that happen to you? And then I use my front door an awful lot. So when I open the door, I hate to say it, but I've had the bird come into the house a few times. And I'll have you know that it's the hardest thing trying to catch that bird, to get him to, not that you really catch him, you just leave some doors open and you hope that he flies out. Does anybody else have that problem, or is it just me? All right, let me kind of turn this way so people know what I'm doing on this side. And then I'll give you a better look. Go. And you know, you can use this wreath recipe just because I'm working on one more summer wreath. You can use this wreath recipe for anything. Like if you're watching this video in the middle of winter and you know, if you catch it on a replay, then you know, use your winter, Christmas supplies and use the same recipe, the same directions that we're doing here, and you can make any type of wreath you want. It's starting to look really cute. All right, let me kind of give you a better look here. I'm rolling it like, I don't know, maybe 1.5 times. And then I'm gathering it right up the middle. And I'm just going to roll that down about 1.5 times to 2 times. You know, look to see how it's, if you're catching that raw edge in there nicely. You don't want that really poking or sticking out. So see what yours looks like and then adjust it. a very airy wreath. But my sign is really, I don't know, it just seems very big. See how that's catching in there? This one I did a little bit more so you can see that I caught it in there. This one not as much. I'm going to have to be a little bit more careful. That was that last piece. I should have put that on the bottom. The end of my roll was a little bit short, so I'm shy a few inches on that last piece of Deco mesh. I probably should have placed it on the bottom. This is the beginning. I might have to switch that one out. I only had one roll of this, so I'm trying to use it the best I can, coverage-wise. I probably could have used 10-inch poofs, but I'm not really a big fan of that for some reason. I don't know why. And if you don't want to stay here with me finishing this up, you can pause the video and work on yours, on your wreath. And come back and see what the next step is. I love this mesh. I should have opened these leaf ties, these twist ties. I would be a little bit ahead of myself. But no, I just seem to be rushing. I don't know what for. I'm not going anywhere. So pretty. I have a lot of wreath supplies, and I've got them stored a lot at my studio, even though I had to clear it out. But I have a lot at home, here at home, I should say. And my husband's not too happy with me. So that's why I've decided to really use up what I have to show you these different recipes. And if you're a wreath maker, I imagine you're just like me. You have a lot of supplies. So let's use it up. And you know, we have a tendency to just keep buying because we just see such beautiful new things. You know, it's terrible. We kind of go overboard. So let's just try to use what we have and get something done. Something used up. Now here's that last piece. That doesn't look too good. Let's see if I can do something with this. Just gonna want to curl the other way. Maybe I'll curl this one under. Just to try to use that last piece. Once we get our ribbons on, it's not really going to show anyway. No one will know the difference. And there you go. That's what it looks like. Let's see if I can give you a better look. Looks really nice. All right, we're moving on to our next step. We have our Deco mesh all attached. We have all our ribbon tails cut and dovetailed. The next step is adding our ribbon tails, and we're just going to fold that in half, the two of them. We're putting the smaller one on top. We're layering it. We're going to find our first twist tie, and we're going to place that in there, and we're going to kind of bring it out to the side. Can you see that? We're not making an X, we're bringing it out to the side, all along the bottom. I'm going to do the bottom ring first. I'm going to separate that. I'm still trying to make an X when I'm spreading that out. I want like the 1.5, the 2.5, the 1.5, and the 2.5 showing in that respect. You know what I mean? I don't want one ribbon showing twice. I want one, then the other, one, then the other. Hopefully you know what I mean. I'm making myself clear. Sometimes I wonder if I'm not making myself clear. Just let me know. I'm going to go all the way around the bottom ring. Then we'll do the top ring. By using just 2 ribbons, my mesh is so busy that I decided to just go with 2 different ribbons, the watermelon and then the solid red, a little bit of fuzzy green. And I'm going to be introducing some other colors in the bow. If you don't have any other colors, use what you have left. I showed you at the beginning what I was using, but I'll show you again. See, I have 2 other colors that I'm going to introduce into the bow. And actually, if you'd like the numbers, this is RG01048L as in Lily 6. And then this item number on this plaid is RG19813Y as in yellow. Again, if you would like to pause the video and work on your wreath, if you're not working along with me, you're just watching this time around, or if you are following along and you want to work on yours, you go right ahead. You can pause this video and then work on your wreath and come back for the next step. How did I miss this? Oh, sorry, some of these aren't even done. Let me pause the video and... All right, I'm back. I just realized that I did not dovetail all my ribbons, so I had to kind of pause and get that done. Was getting a little bit ahead of myself, I guess. I didn't finish what I was doing. All right, we're going to jump up to the top ring, our wreath frame, and we're going to do a little something different with our ribbons up at the top, where we wanted these outer ring to kind of be going out to the side. This top ring we definitely want in an X. To kind of spread those out. See what I mean? That is definitely in an X. Whereas these are going more out to the side. Depending on how we're putting our sign, few more. So are you happy moving on to fall wreath making? Have you had enough of these summer supplies? Don't get me wrong, I love the fall colors. And our fall weather in New England here is beautiful. It's one of our, really nice, comfortable months, season. Let me know where you're located. Let me know if your summers are really hot, just really nice. You love the summer, it's your favorite season. Okay, here we are down to our last ribbon tail. Let's see what this looks like. There we go. Give you a better look here. And this is what it looks like so far. We're going to be mounting our sign right in the middle here, so it's going to cover some of this deco mesh, or we're going to nestle it down inside actually. All I'm doing today to prep our sign is, I'm taking our metal sign and I'm taking 2 chenille stems. These are the extra long ones. I don't need really long ones like this, but that's all I have right now. So all I'm going to be doing is just putting take a color that blends in with your sign, chenille stem, or a wire, florist wire if you have it. And this already has 2 holes in it. And just put that as tight as you can go. All right, and we're going to take our wreath, open this up for you, and I'm going to be placing this, I don't know if I want it on top or if I want it down inside a little bit. Let's see what it looks like. I'm going to nestle it in a little bit. And I'm going to bring that right to the top rail. Of my wreath frame. If I can get it in there, my goodness. Ribbons a little bit later, and I'm going to attach that, like I said, to the top rail, top ring, right at the top, And bring this one down and do the same. Just try to make sure it's even. And I'm right at a crossbar here, so I'm going to put it at the crossbar. I'm going to see how that is, how that looks. And we can always go back in and fluff our ribbons. And this is what it looks like. Hi everyone, it's Joan from the Wreath Creator. I'm here today. I want to show you how to make this beautiful bow for our Farmer's Market watermelon wreath. All right, so let's get started. Roll my ribbons over. Move you down so you can see what's going on. We're going to start with our widest ribbon. And I'm only going to be making 2 loops, 2 6-inch bow loops. And I am going to start with a little bit longer a ribbon tail. So let's go out to probably about 10 inches. I want that ribbon facing up, but through the dowels, we're going to twist it. We're going to measure out 6 inches, bring it through the dowel. We're twisting that. And why I'm twisting that is because I want the right side or the correct side of the ribbon showing up. Right side up. And we're going to measure 6 inches for our bow loop. Remember, I'm only making 2 bow loops, 1 on each side. And I'm going to bring that down to the same length as the other ribbon tail. The next color I'm bringing in is our main color. I am going to do, let's see what I did on this. I'm going to bring that one in a little bit. I'm going to still make that same length tail, about 9 or 10 inches. I'm twisting it. I want about a 5-inch, measure out a 5-inch bow loop. So it's going to be, I'm twisting it again. I want that, the correct side of the ribbon showing. We're going to 5 inches. We're not twisting it in the dowels this time, and we're bringing it out to the same length ribbon tail. Next one is our little gingham check. Sorry, I don't think I was ready. The next one, I'm going to be doing 2 loops again, 2 bow loops. I'm going to go a little bit shorter with my ribbon tail, maybe about 9 inches. I'm twisting it in the middle of the dowels, going down to a 6/4 inch bow loop, another 4-inch bow loop. Sorry, I'm having a little bit of trouble over here. And just those 2 bow loops. And I'm bringing it a little bit shorter, same length. As you can see, everything is still staying right in the middle, but all my ribbon tails are coming down at the bottom. bring this one out, this one to the top, this one to the bottom. Let me show you when I'm done what it looks like on my bow maker. That last ribbon I'm bringing in is the little plaid, and still again 2 bow loops. I'm making it an 8-inch tail. I'm twisting it, and I'm going down to 6, 5, 4, 3-inch bow loop. I'm twisting that. 4-inch bow loop, and I'm not twisting it because I'm finished and I want a ribbon tail. So I'm cutting that ribbon tail the same as the black gingham. And this is what it looks like. I'm going to grab a chenille stem. You can use some florist wire. I'm just going to pinch that together. I'm going to hold it really tight. I'm going to bring that chenille stem around. I'm going to try to make sure my ribbon tails are all going the right way. And I'm going to hold on to the chenille stems, and I'm going to pull with my other hand away from the chenille stems. I'm going to grasp it nice and tight, and I am going to twist the bow, not the chenille stem or the florist wire. This is what it looks like. Now all those ribbons, tails should be coming down to the bottom. We'll start with that. And then I'm going to fluff out my bow loops. Now I didn't want a really, dense bow. I wanted kind of a light and airy bow. And there you go. Let me just bring this back up. And I will be dovetailing them. I'll show you this one here. I dovetailed. And I'm going to be placing it right at the bottom here. And I'm going to have those ribbon tails just coming down from the bottom. And once I attach that, I'll show you what it looks like. Okay? All right, now we're going to be going on to adding our bow to our wreath. Let me bring it down a little bit over here. And I am placing this bow right at the bottom of this wreath. So I'm going to look for the middle of the sign and make sure that it's in the middle. And I am going to just wrap it around the wire frame, the wreath frame. And I want these ribbon tails hanging down. And we're just going to fluff up our ribbons, fluff up our bow, and there you go. I want them hanging down off this wreath. And there you go, it's done.